Morning, friends. This is Ella, your friendly advisor in Ireland. Happy St. Patrick's Day, one of the very important holidays in Ireland. In this video, I'm going to walk you through Irish student visa. Most of you would be staying in Ireland for long. Some of you would have taken the student visa route to settle down in Ireland. I'm pretty sure this may not be helpful for all of you, but I would suggest you to share this with your friends or your colleagues who are in India and are planning to take the student studies, master's route to enter Ireland. So without further ado, let's just dive in. Again, like any other visa for Irish, to enter Ireland, you have to visit this visas.ins.gov.ie to make your application. And whatever application you make, it exists on their record for 30 days, and you get a reference number to go back to fill the application, multiple times. Particularly the student visa, you need to apply it before 6 to 8 weeks before the course start date. For reasons being, all the students apply at the same time, and they'll have a huge backlog, and there'll be a lot of delays. So, if you really don't want to take any headache, apply between 6 to 8 weeks before the course start date. In my case, the course was starting in September. I applied in June, and I got the result by July, and then I put down my papers once I have the visa back in India. So if you are applying for September intake, try to apply for visa around June, July. If you are planning for December, January intake, apply your visa by October so that it's less hassle for you, less mental tension, and you can have a good life and concentrate and focus on what you're working during the time. So that's my suggestion. The next thing, how to make the application. If you use the link which I just showed you on the first slide, uh, at the start of the application, you need to choose these data, to apply for the visa. Student visa is a long stay. It's a single entry. It's not multiple. Uh, and reason for travel would be study. And purpose of travel, you can, I just put down to study masters, but you complete information about the course and where you're going to do your masters. Passport type for most of us, it's national passport, unless until if you are a kid of diplomat or a politician, it changes. But again, the passport document number is a travel document number, the passport number, and proposed date. If it's a long stay visa, you need not enter the to date. So just enter the course start date or the date you're planning to enter Ireland with that visa. And during the application, you'll go through multiple pages to enter details. On second page itself, you'll get a reference number, save it because that's very important number. And the pages, from there on, will ask you about details around criminal conviction and your contact details, your address details in India, your job details, your visa details, the passport details. If you're coming to you're coming here for a course, it'll ask you about course details. If you're coming on employee permit here, it'll ask you about the employer details. You basically it tries to capture all your situational details. Once you fill the application form, you need to download this particular online application form and then book an appointment using the link which is already there on the slide, and book an appointment, pay the fees, and then that particular application. And sorry for the mistake there, it's Ahmedabad. uh, but yeah, there are 10 locations in India where you can submit your applications, and you need to be physically present there to submit your application. And these applications only you can submit. You could not have agents submitting these applications, unlike some of the tourist visas. But in any case, I would suggest you to you know be in person in the visa application center so that you'll understand if they reject what documents they are looking for, and you can uh, get that and submit then and there, or take a couple of days and submit. Basically, with every visa fee application, you get twice, if I'm not wrong, two chances to submit the document, two chances to schedule the appointment, many chances to reschedule it before the use of application. So just read about that. But again, yeah, if you are missing some documents in the first try, you will get another try for free. Yeah, that's how you fill the application, basic details. But the important part is once you are at these application centers, what documents should you submit to have a successful student visa application? And these are the documents that you must have. Without this, you will be doing multiple rounds. First one is the appointment letter, the appointment letter for that particular appointment, and the visa fees receipt, which you pay using the link in the previous slide, and the student visa application form, which you filled uh, as part of your application in the second slide again. Once you have that, you need to show them the offer letter from the college, and you need to pay at least 6K euros in fees towards the fees to the college, and that receipt also should be submitted along with the application. And you need to get police clearance certificate, which is called PCC, which is valid for 6 months. You need to submit that here, the original. I would suggest you to you know get PCC before you start before you apply for the appointment with the VFS Global. That would be one suggestion, and make sure that the number of days between the PCC application and this application is no more than 2 weeks. So that there's no issue with respect to the PCC document. And you also need to fill a questionnaire, which for which I have the link there. I'll share it in the video description. I'll be sharing all the links in the video description for your reference. And this questionnaire has details on the course and how you're financing and all and all and all. So once you fill that, you'll get a lot of idea about what kind of financial documents you require. Along with that, you need to give 3 photographs, usual photographs 35 mm to cross 45 mm. In most of these application centers, you should have the photo studio and photocopy studio. So yeah, if they really require some more photocopies, you can make photocopies. But again, I would suggest making at least 2 to 3 photocopies of each of these documents. Statement of purpose. If you need statement of purpose, just email me at allaboutireland247@gmail.com. I can share my own statement of purpose. Copies of all pages, old and new passports. So that's a must. You also need to buy a medical insurance from Ireland, and I usually used Odon back then, and we paid 150. There are a couple of more players in the market, but again, you can just search for Stamp 1G Stamp 2 medical insurance or student medical insurance in Ireland, and any of them you can buy and produce that there. If you're working in India, you need to show the payslip and work difference letter. If you're not, this is not mandatory. Education documents, 10th, 12th, engineering, you need to show the certificates, original. They may take originals, but have the photocopies, color photocopies if you can. You also need to show the exam scores like TOEFL, IELTS, PTE, ACAD, or Duolingo, or GMAT, and GRE scores, and submit the score documents along with the application. And last but not least is financial documents, which is a separate section altogether, which makes me, go to the next slide. I will explain my own situation. So um, I took a student loan. I mean, I paid the 6K fees from my savings, and then I had close to 4 lakhs in employment provident fund, and I had some more deposit with me because of my job. And then we took a mortgage on my mother's property. That's education loan. So this was my case, and I showed close to 30 lakhs in finances, which is like liquid cash, I mean, readily available. And probably that made my application process very easy. But again, based on your situation, I mean, I studied at Trinity College Dublin. I did my MBA, so the fees was high. So I need to show the course fees plus at least 10K towards your expenses in Ireland. So that was coming close to 25 lakhs, but I showed additional just in case my application gets through. If you are studying in DBS or NCI with good scholarship, you pay very little fees. So yeah, I have known a friend who paid the 6K from, I mean, his father's savings, and he just need to show 10 lakhs. Most of the 10 lakhs was towards the 10,000 euro accommodation, mandatory accommodation details. But yeah, again, it's case to case basis. You can, as you see here, you can get support from your parents, sponsor, or if you're a guardian or a cousin who wishes to sponsor, you can get affordable that they're going to provide you this money towards your fees. Along with the affidavit, you also need to attach the proof that how they are going to get the monies from. So that's one thing. It's not just sponsorship. You also need to show the proof of sponsorship, and your relationship proof with that particular applicant, which is second point. And if that applicant or you are going to support yourself or with the support of the sponsor, you need to submit the income tax returns for 2 years from all the sponsors. That's mandatory. If you have no IT returns, but the person is willing to pay, again, some questions get when you'll be asked few questions. But again, if you have a person who can provide you ITR, that's the best way to go. Number four is the savings bank statement. If you are an employee in Ireland, you need to show them 6 month savings bank statement. Again, that savings bank statement should not be not no more than 7 days old. I would not suggest e-statement. I would suggest you to go to the bank, take a e-statement, or directly go to the bank, get it stamped, ask for the visiting card, and produce that along with your application. You can also produce fixed deposits and bonds. You need not liquidate them. You can directly show the proof, take original as well as photocopy, but also take the visiting card of the bank. The fifth point is, employment provident fund, gratuity, or, other public provident funds, NPS, whatever, where you can withdraw money, right? So that also they add towards the contribution. That actually helped me add close to 4.5 in EPF. That kind of helped me. And education loan, based on the shortcoming, you can go for education loan. There's some good banks out there, like SBI has good policies for women, most of the banks, and there's some banks which give interest concession and all if you start paying EMI or interest during your moratorium period. So speak to a couple of banks and see who has the best offer for you and who is ready to give you uh, student loan. Under 4 lakhs, it should be easy, but over 4 lakhs, that's where they ask you for the mortgage. In my case, I took education loan on a on a property, so I need to give them the evaluation report. I need to give them the property papers. I mean, not the original, the copies, but I had to take the original to that particular application. Yeah, that's it. Try to give them solid financial documents and make sure your affidavits are in English. That should really helpful. Last but not least is, all your documents must be original and keep 2 to 3 copies. Need to be legible. Basically means need to be readable and verifiable. And your documents must be in English. If they are in some other language, you need to translate it to either Irish or English. And take a clip and pin all the documents. Don't give folders or envelopes. Make sure that it's easy for them to read. But again, if you're traveling first time to Ireland, there's a undertaking document which you need to fill. That's in this particular link, which I'll put it in the video description. That's it from my end on how to apply for student visa. I would suggest not to go to any consultants because they charge. Some consultants do not charge, but yeah, just save money. And if you do what I just told in this video, you should be good. And this video is sponsored by KLiner.com. It's one-stop platform for all your job hunt within Ireland. They do provide services like career counseling, CV prep, mock interviews, and they also have this 15-minute free discovery session if you want to avail. They're good. Thank you. Wish you have a good holiday. Bye.